What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. As Kevin Gates is one of my favorite rappers in this generation, I have to openly say that I was disappointed in By Any Means. Maybe it was the fact that it came right after an album from Kevin Gates that I would consider a classic. That one was Stranger Than Fiction. I feel like from start to finish that album is perfect. It was one of my favorites from 2013. So By Any Means, while it had a couple songs that were, exceptional, I felt like as an overall body of work, I wasn't too enthusiastic about it. So when I saw that Kevin was going to do a part two, I wasn't exactly like the hype levels weren't raised to the highest form. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll give it a chance. It's Kevin Gates. He's one of my favorites. But seeing the title and knowing that the first one wasn't as good to me, it didn't exactly get me super amped up. But Kevin Gates is currently locked up and we haven't had a new project in like well over a year. So that alone kind of raised the hype. Like, damn, we haven't heard from Kevin Gates in a while, and obviously all of these songs are unreleased, but it's a Kevin Gates project, so that is something to be happy about. So I was excited to dive in hopes that By Any Means 2 is better than its predecessor. Now let's hop into my favorite song, starting off with What If. This was one of the songs that came out like over the summer. It was just like one of those random songs. It wasn't initially attached to a project, but it was one that he shot a video for and he put it out, and it was pushed a little bit, and it was a song that I probably listened to when it first came out, but didn't really fully appreciate until this project came out. I really like when Kevin Gates tackles concepts because he pretty much nails them. And this one is pretty simple. What if God was like Kevin Gates, or you, or I? Like, not this higher being, but just like an ordinary person, a thug like one of us, going to the club like one of us. I feel like what really makes the song, though, is the fact that this is an undeniable hook from him. Like, in his entire career so far, you can listen to a song and immediately you can tell when a hook is just undeniable. It's catchy, it's gonna get stuck in your head. Like, this is the one. Kevin Gates has that ability. And What If is one of those types of songs. My other favorite record is called Came Up. He says, I'm gonna write Gucci and tell him to hold his head. That line right there shows you how old this song was. Easily made over a year and a half ago. Because Gucci hasn't been locked up for well over a year and a half. So this song is clearly old, but the overall product is stellar. It's still a good record. I like that this is another take on Kevin Gates' come up. It tells more of his story because he hasn't had the most smooth career. And so on this particular record, I learned that that DJ Khaled kind of treated him like he was nobody. And so I want to know more about that. I'm hoping that at some point somebody is able to talk to Kevin Gates, when he gets out and everything, and then hear a little bit more about the story, because he pretty much said I gave a CD to Khaled. He acted like he didn't know me. And so I'm wondering if this was what year was this? Was this before Kevin was even signed and he was just on the come up? Was this during the days where he was kind of running with Cash Money just a little bit? I mean, I don't know. But it is one of those things that was interesting to me, and I had never heard that story before. And obviously it meant something to Kevin because he put it in this song. The other thing that he talked about that he's made clear in the past is that the label wasn't really supporting him with the money that he needed. But as always, Kevin Gates is a fighter, and he was able to make sure that his journey to the top happened. It was one of those situations where he knew that if he kept working, kept putting out projects, he was going to get bigger and bigger. And my only hope is that when he does come out sometime in 2018, I'm hoping that he's able to maintain and grow from it. You know, in a way that Gucci's doing. Gucci has been killing it. He's been growing and he's going to continue to get bigger. And I want Kevin Gates to do the same. My two honorable mentions are MacGyver and Attention. These were two records that they just have great Kevin Gates lyrics on them and nice hooks. And so they were ones that I enjoyed. My least favorite songs are going to be grouped together because they possess the same thing that I just do not enjoy. So the first one is GOMD, and the other one is DU Down. What do these songs have in common? Well, it's simple. Get off my dick, dick you down, suck my dick, dick this, dick that. Honestly, I'm just tired of dick-related songs. It's not like Kevin Gates is doing anything new with these songs. The only thing that you can praise him for is that these do have the Kevin Gates sound to them. And so I won't sit here in front like they're not a bit catchy, but I'm just kind of over like that subject matter. Sorry, not even Kevin Gates can save them. Also, these songs are back to back. Like, that is the one thing that I hated in the sequencing. Is like, why would you put these two back to back like that? So those two records were the only ones that I felt could have been left on the cutting room floor. By Any Means 2 is far greater than the original. I enjoyed more songs. I feel like this one has a little bit more replay value. It shows you that Kevin had a lot of great records in the stash. Another thing that I didn't really talk about in the review, because it really wasn't a place, but I want to include it in the outro, is that going forward, I would love to see Kevin Gates work with artists again. Now, he does features occasionally, but ever since Isla, he's kind of been like, what's the word? Like, he's been shy from guest features. He doesn't have many on his albums, if any. There's only one on By Any Means 2, and that's P&B Rock. But over the years, Kevin has had chemistry with so many different people. You know, two names that come to mind is Starlito and Rich Homie Quan. Like, he's always worked with those two, and they sound good. They sound good together. So that was something that I just wanted to say, like, going forward. Maybe not necessarily until he gets out of prison, because, you know, it's easy to just, like, throw a song and have a guest feature on it. But I would like to see Kevin, you know, be out and active and be able to work with these people, you know, face to face. I feel like that would yield the best results. One last thing before we go. I would like to say, if Kevin or his team ends up seeing this video, which is highly unlikely, but still, I want to say this, please do not make A Stranger Than Fiction 2. That is one project that I do not need to see a sequel for. So those are my thoughts on By Any Means 2, as well as some random thoughts about, you know, Kevin Gates going forward. Anyways, after you listen to By Any Means 2, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at Sermons Domain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.